Hello, everyone. Welcome to definitely episode 31.
We agree this time.
We have agreed, yes. Of Music is None of Our Business. And tonight, after the excitement of last week's Body Parts, we are doing songs with colours in the title.
Not a hard one, but
I was waiting for you to say something. there was a pregnant pause there.
It was, yes.
I was thinking, is he going to fucking talk or what? Is he going to talk?
I was checking levels.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, I've no idea what that means. So I just push that button and start gobbing off. You're there going, I just better put a bit more bass on that, and yeah, because we know that in reality your voice sounds like this.
It does.
But you fiddle with
it. Does
you fiddle with you fiddle with your knobs and you get it down to a more
manly tone.
Yes, bassy timbre.
I am sorely tempted. I think
befitting of your ongoing years.
Yes, my ongoing years, my gender as well. So I have been sorely tempted to put effects on your voice many times.
If you've got to finish his sentence properly, application on there, that would be good. Because that is the one thing. That is the one thing I have been checking my calendar, and it's been about almost a year since I got my initial ADHD diagnosis. So I should be getting some my drugs soon for titration purposes.
Oh, right.
So you could find that all of a sudden there's a change in the podcast, and I actually make sense. Which would be a bit of a bit of a novelty.
I think after
really more than
after
anything.
40 some odd years, you suddenly making sense would be a little bit too much for me. I think I have to go and lay down for a week or two.
Yeah. He's making sense. What on earth? What's going on?
Who is he?
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we should look forward to it.
Dear.
Hopefully, you will get your meds through, and we can can explore the new Dave.
Yes, I'll be making sense, and well, that might be pushing it a tiny bit.
At the end of the podcast, won't it?
Oh dear, yeah. Everyone will go, well, what's this? It's not fucking funny
it's
anymore.
no good anymore. No.
It used to be funny when you didn't know what he's talking about. But... Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so colours.
Are you going first, or am I going first this time?
I will go first if you want.
Okay.
My first song is from 1981. It's an American hardcore punk song, and it's called Everything Turns Grey. And I'm doubling up on the colours because the band is Agent Orange.
It's not clever.
Or as we call them, Agent Orange.
Why do we call them that?
I don't know. I just made that up. I just thought it might sound. I thought it sounded sophisticated, but I just sound like a twat. So
I'm looking.
Just ignore
every
that.
minute that passes, I'm looking forward to your meds arriving.
Oh yes. So Everything Turns Grey by Agent Orange. And this was a 7-inch single on Posh Boy Records from were they San Francisco or Los Angeles? It was on the west coast of America. And Agent Orange were kind of a hardcore band, but who had lots of surf music influences. In fact, they on the first album, which this single is on as well. Which was Living in Darkness, they did a cover of Miser Lou, and I think they also did Pipeline as well,
nice.
A quite punky version of Pipeline that's really good. But Everything Turns Grey, as I say, 7-inch single, bought originally from Keith's Records.
Right.
And I'm struggling to remember whether he'd just got it in a shipment and it was there, and I thought, I'd look at that, or whether I'd read about it and actually ordered it. But I know he definitely ordered me in a copy of the LP, Living in Darkness. which I've still got. I think we've covered vaguely mentioned
on them.
Before. Great LP. One of my favourite American punk records ever. Along with, in fact, I think it came out around the same time as that first MDC one, and may well have been around the time of Jodie Foster's Army as well. We were a great early hardcore band. I can't really remember.
It's interesting that we were talking about the Dead Kennedys as one of the great US punk bands, and how they were surf influenced, overtly surf influenced as well in the guitar.
Well, Agent Orange were definitely. I mean, they were all into. I mean, there's lots of skateboarding going on. There's lots of their old videos involve lots of skateboarding as well. I think they probably at some point turned up on one of the Tony Hawk's video games where they used to have the hardcore punk soundtracks. In fact, I think that was on Pro Skater 4. And originally they were a 3-piece. As lots of great bands were. I was thinking of Husker Du. Husker Du. Got told off. Got told off for saying Husker Du.
Weird a sweet.
Husker Du.
Weird a sweet. There was a 3-piece.
Fuck me. Seriously, leave the jokes to me, because that is one of the worst ever.
Fuck off, it's fine.
That is one of the worst ever. So original lineup was Mike Palm, who was the singer and guitarist. I think they're still going, and I'm pretty sure he's the only original member. And there was James Levesque on bass and Scott Miller on drums. And they were together for the first 2 LPs, Living in Darkness, and the second LP, This Is the Voice, which is cracking as well. There was also a really good EP in the middle called Bitch in Summer, which was very surf orientated. That was very surf punk. Everything Turns Grey, just brilliant. That the whole LP is just full of really catchy, almost kind of a precursor to the pop punk that came much later. And I remember I was very enamoured with Agent Orange, and I remember there was an address on the back of either the single or the LP, and I sent them a letter and said, I think you're great, as you do when you're
16,
14, 15, wherever we were. Yeah, I said, they're great, and they sent me back some stuff. They sent me back like a newsletter and a guitar pick and some stickers and whatnot. Right. And then that Christmas, I actually got a Agent Orange Christmas card. Signed by all 3 of them, which I'm pretty sure I've still got somewhere.
Okay.
In fact, I've still got the newsletter as well. I can't bear to get rid of shit like that, because it's great. I think they actually played Peterborough a few years ago. I remember seeing it there. Yeah, not long ago. And they played probably the Met Lounge or something like that. And I remember thinking, I really should go. And I thought, it's 40 odd years since Living in Darkness. Is it going to be? And I didn't go because I was so worried that I'd be disappointed.
Right.
I think if it was any other band, I'd probably gone along. But given how much I loved that album, I just didn't want it to be shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of talked myself out of going. But yeah, great band. That's track number 1. Everything Turns Grey.
I did see Agent Orange. Only in as much as the canisters in the Museum of War in Saigon.
Oh yes,
which,
yes. Of
there's
course,
quite a lot about that, because people are still dying. A lot of the land there is still afflicted with the toxins that were dumped all over Vietnam by the United States. Poignant, but good band, undoubtedly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Going in a completely different direction for my first of the evening. And this is a song that was originally written by a chap by the name of Bob Montgomery in 1966. It was recorded by a country singer, Eddie Arnold, and several other people. It's been recorded by quite a lot of people. But eventually it was picked up by Dorothy Moore, who recorded it in 1975. And that became the classic soul version of the song. And the song's called Misty Blue. But it's not for that song, which is great as it is, that I've put it on the list. I've put it on the list because in 2002... Nottingham band A Million and One Suns, which is all one word, did an electronic version of it, very much in the chilled Ibiza style. And it's a fantastic song. I've never been to Ibiza. I'm never likely to go to Ibiza.
No, me either.
No, but I've sat on many a Mediterranean beach at sunsets and sunrises, and when you put on any one of the numerous chilled Ibiza compilation albums you've got and sit back, this track is very often on there. I've got it several times on different albums. And it's a great track, really well produced, and it's part, I think, samples of Dorothy Moore and part new vocals that are mixed in. It's very difficult to work out. The new singer is somebody called Taka Boom. I don't know if you're familiar with Taka Boom, but she's the sister of Chaka Khan. There's Taka Boom and Chaka Khan.
All right, okay.
And there's been lots and lots of versions of this song.
You'd have thought they'd have had the same surname.
Yeah, I think
you?
it's something to do with
Chaka Khan.
something to do with staging, I think, and all that kind of stuff. But there've been loads and loads of versions of it. The 2002 version is my favourite. There was another version in 2023. There's been lots, and it's very difficult to find out who's singing on them. Some of them it's clearly Taka Boom. Some of the accounts say it's Chaka Khan that's actually singing, and some she's backing singing and all kinds of things. So it's a little bit mysterious, but it's a great song. A Million and One Suns, as I say, they're from Nottingham. Andy Kuleza, I think that's how you pronounce it, Carl Robin Junga, and Matt Shelton. And it's a really rich, sumptuous, deeply well-produced piece of music. It tips, either knowingly or otherwise, a nod towards the Bristolian kind of sound, because there are some surface noise crackles and that kind of trip-hoppy reference in there.
We love a bit of trip-hop.
We love a bit of trip-hop. It's got some of those affectations, but I don't know what's really happened to A Million and One Suns. They still appear to be in action, but their website is very, very uninformative. They don't tell you an awful lot, and there's not a lot else out there to find. I did find out that in 2002 they had a track called Fuck 8 times, which I think they wrote after a serious toe stubbing incident, perhaps. I don't know, but that's about it. It's a great.
We've all been there.
Or stepping on Lego when you got no shoes on.
Oh God, yeah. Even worse.
But that's it. That's all I can tell you about it. It's a great song. It's on virtually every chilled Ibiza compilation ever, and I don't know anything much more than that about it.
Excellent. Sounds good. Like a bit of chilled Ibiza. Like a bit of chilled anything, really.
Chilled tomatoes.
Chilled tomatoes, yeah. Chilled salad, chilled anything. Whatever's in the fridge. To be honest, whatever's in the fridge.
Go
cool.
on then.
Okay. Well, we're whacking through at the moment. So my second one is, see, this is a weird one, right? Because this is another one I bought from Keith Records, and it's called Red Skies by a band called The Fix.
Oh, right.
And it's The Fix with 2 X's.
Okay.
Because originally it was The Fix with 1 X, but when they went to release music in America, the Americans, because they're Americans, went, well, people might think you mean drugs. A fix with drugs. Yeah. So if we put another X on the end...
No mistaking.
Yeah, no mistaking. Apart from some people will go, oh yeah, have you got that record by the Fixix? So, I don't know. Yeah. So Red Skies at Night, I've never listened to...
Is it called Red Skies at Night? I think you just said it was Red Skies.
No, it's called Red Skies, but the chorus is... I jumped ahead a bit there. So, Red Skies, I've not really listened to anything else that they've ever done, but it just had one of those choruses, and it went, and I still remember it now. I haven't played it for ages because, and it goes, Red Skies at night, Red Skies is nice. Oh, 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 ah, oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
and it's
dear,
like
dear.
fucking just stuck in my head. They were kind of a new wavy band, and it sounds, and I know why I bought it, because of the chorus that stuck in my head, but it also sounds very early U2.
Okay.
Even down to the guitar sounds like it could have been played by the Edge.
Right. And what
You
year
know.
was this released?
This was in 82, I think.
Right.
81, 82. And it's just, I've always had a thing for choruses. I remember that there was another song around that time called Where's Romeo by, I can't remember, but I can still remember that chorus. I haven't heard the bloody song in years. I can still remember the chorus now. I've always been a soft spot for good chorus. So they were an English band, originally formed in 79, I think. And kind of that song got them lots and lots of airplay in America. The album came out, went to number 13, I think. The song peaked at number 1 on the Billboard's Bubbling Under the Hot 100 chart
Right.
in 83. And then vroom, they were gone.
Right.
Au revoir. The fix could not be fixed.
They were fucks.
And they were foxed. They were foxed. Yeah, they were foxed. The fix were foxed. And never really did anything else. But it is a great song. I mean, and it's kind of, I don't think it was quite a one-hit wonder, but it's probably the one hit that anyone, if you said the fix to somebody, well, no, if you said the fix to most people, they'd go, what are you fucking talking about?
Are you gonna make drugs?
Yeah, exactly. And you go, no, the Fixix. And they go, oh, them, yeah. I remember them. They were great. Red Skies at Night. Yeah, that's the one, yeah. But this is the song that everyone will remember them for. There's always, what I mean, this is kind of going back to what we were saying about the Simple Minds last week. And you too, obviously. You've got that big
Hook.
arena sound and that hook, and you can go miles, but they never really, I don't think they ever really capitalized on it. Weirdly, if you go on Spotify, it's not there.
Is that weird?
Well, kind of, because Red Sky's alternate version is there, but the actual album, and their first album and the one after, I think, or there are albums on there, but this album is missing in its entirety. And there's not even any singles compilations or anything. So I don't know whether that's whether it's a licensing thing or what, but, one of those strange mysteries that no one really gives much of a shit about, to be perfectly honest.
There's lots of reasons why people don't put stuff on Spotify. At one end of the spectrum, it's just laziness and apathy, and on the other, it's because they have a deep distrust or dislike of Spotify and its model.
Well, that's what I thought, but I think in this case it seems to be something completely different, because, like I say, there are tracks on there are albums on there. But just this particular one, and I know it's the same for, I know Snuff, the band Snuff, a lot of their early stuff's not on there, and I'm pretty sure that's down to licensing.
Right.
Because they've obviously been,
switching label,
record companies involved, yeah, and no one can quite make up their mind who owns what. Same with Mega City 4. There's only one Mega City 4 album, or possibly two of their 5 or 6 available on streaming platforms. And from what I gather, that's from some kind of licensing distribution thing as well. I don't really know how it all works out, but but whatever. So it's I never quite know what to say. I never quite know what to say about these. I love the song, but there's only so much you can say about it, and I think they're still. I've got a feeling they might still be touring in some form or other.
They're probably in human form.
Yeah, well, yeah, or in kind of just big, like, rock blobs or something. I don't know.
Marshmallow Men or something.
I mean, they've got their their Wikipedia page says that they've recorded new singles and everything, but I think they had their moment and never really grasped it, So Red Skies are Red Skies are night.
I'm going to say your rendition of it is neither familiar nor is it enticing to want to go and look at it.
It's probably a bit wrong as well, actually, because that's just how I remember it. So there could have been a couple less walls or something. I don't.
Is the alternate version nothing like the one that you remember then?
I think it is. I think it is similar. I did have the single. I had the 7-inch single for years. I've probably still got it in a box of old singles somewhere. I'll have to have a look for it. But yeah, it was a great single. But that was it.
Okay, well, it got on the list, so it's had another crack at fame through publicity from you.
Yes. So if they do get any bigger, I should expect some royalties.
You might get asked to do backing vocals now. I don't think that'll be happening. Sell it, man.
I can't quite get that bit. I always say I'm just about to start laughing at the end, where they go. Yeah, I've got to really sort my woes out. I remember there was a band we used to go and see quite regularly at the Portland Arms in Cambridge called Caves.
Okay.
And they did so many fucking woes in there. Whoa! Everything was fucking woe,
Did they have inner ear problems or something? They were a little bit unsteady on their feet.
Whoa, yeah, could have been. They were. I don't know whatever happened to them. They were a great band.
They fell over.
Yeah, Caves. Yeah, they probably. I can't even think of a good cave joke. So.
No. Okay, my number 2 then, I think.
Indeed.
And I've gone with red as well for this one.
Ooh,
I think
lovely.
there's so many.
We're matching.
So many colours, and we've gone matching.
Go on then.
This is a track called "Death to the Red Sun," and it's by the awesome San Diego.
Oh yeah, I know San Diego.
San Diego. Nothing to do with San Diego, whatever. So, from the awesome San Diego power trio, Earthless. And I don't know if you're familiar with Earthless.
The name rings a bell, actually, and I'm not quite sure why.
Probably something to do with the band called Earthless.
Could possibly, yeah. What genre are we talking?
This is my old mate, our old mate Nick Palmer would have called it a mindless guitar wankery, because it's largely instrumental rock with lots and lots of guitar soloing throughout the lot. Instrumentals pretty much
twiddly bollocks, kind of
twiddly bollocks, but it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Are there bits that go like this?
I don't remember any bit that goes quite like that. No,
that's just my impression of guitar twattering.
Is it? I'm more disturbed by seeing your tongue flicking around like that.
That's the only way I could get.
I'm going to try and erase that with some brandy later.
It's like listening to Purple Rain, and when Prince goes, Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
I don't remember that bit in it. Does it do that?
No, it doesn't. But that's always, every time I try and describe to someone Purple Rain in the guitar solo,
you do that.
Just goes, Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
That's an utterly unfamiliar rendition. I can't even see any comparison with you.
If I was actually a guitarist, I'd probably do it a bit more. I'd probably have a bit more tongue control.
I fear you're going to have the estate of Prince after you for slander or something like that.
Oh dear.
Anyway, back to the plot.
Corvette.
Do they all do that?
I don't know.
Fucking hell.
I just made that one
Earthless
up.
don't do anything like that anyway. So this Death to the Red Sun is from their 2022 album Night Parade of 100 Demons. And the Night Parade of 100 Demons refers to a Japanese legend of Hyaki Yagyo, which is once a year, all the demons and ghosts and ghouls come into the villages, and anyone who sees them will die instantly or be carried off. That
Happy
aside,
days.
Happy days. It's a chunk of wild, wonderful, heavy riffing psychedelic rock. And they're terrific musicians. They're fucking brilliant at what they do.
They need to be if they're going to go.
And they do it mainly for
You
like
have to be
20-minute
very
songs at a
dexterous
time.
to do it.
Yeah, who needs it? Who needs a Strat? Who needs a Fender? Just amplified tongue movements. Oh, Jesus. People around the world shivering at the thought. I guess this is drummer Mario Rubalcaba.
Fucking
Again,
hell.
I don't know why I keep tricking
Problems.
names. Bands with names I just can't fucking pronounce.
Just call him Mario.
Mario.
Drummer Mario.
Drummer Mario is also a drummer for Rocket from the Crypt, funnily enough.
Oh, okay.
Bassist Mike Edgington and guitarist Isaiah Mitchell. And the vast majority of what they do, as I say, album after album, is instrumental. There have been a couple of notable exceptions on their album, their very excellent album, Rhythms from a Cosmic Sky. They do a cover of the Groundhog's Cherry Red, which is awesome. And their 2018 album, Black Heaven, that does have some singing on it because Mitchell had moved away and they were finding it difficult to do the longer jam string out songs that they were more accustomed to. And they did these shorter ones with vocals on it. But I think even they would admit that wasn't their finest moment. So this track is just over 20 minutes long, and that's pretty much par.
Who'd have thought? So do you just every week say, right, what can I do that's 20 minutes long?
I really don't. I just go for the subject we've got, and it just tumbles out. They're my favourite records are long ones. The first track on the album, Death to the Red Sun, is 41 minutes long, which I suppose you get you kind of think, okay, well, if it was a drone or if it was an ambient piece, but this isn't. This is high energy psychedelic rock, and they're just ploughing along brilliantly. It's fantastic. They had to cut it down to 2 parts to get it onto a record, so it's part 1 and part 2, but it's essentially the same track, and it's got energy, it's got power, it's got a back line that just drives like a train, and the guitar's scorching all over like a maniacal zombie. It's really, really brilliant. The cover art of the record is quite disturbing as well. It's all hyper detailed drawing by bassist Eggington, and he's drawn these demons from the Japanese villages and so on. It's not dissimilar to the drawings of Nick Blinko of Rudimentary Penile. Hyper detailed, really disturbing stuff. You can really look at it a long time and see lots and lots and lots of different things in it. But Earthers are brilliant. This track's brilliant. All of the records are brilliant, with the exception of the 2018 album Black Heaven, which with the singing and the shorter songs doesn't really work. But they're brilliant, and a lot of it is kind of got a kind of deserty kind of feel to it, because it's not all full on blasting along rock. There are some more restrained moments which sound a bit more like deserty kind of music. And one of the best albums is Live in the Mojave Desert, which is probably tied in with that, I don't know. But it's awesome. The music evokes kind of hot rods and surf and road trips to nowhere, but they don't do drugs. Apparently they like nothing but more than a cup of tea.
Very good.
So very solid guys as well.
Yeah.
But
an example to us all.
An example to us all. I do believe they are on Spotify, so we should be able to dig out that track, and
Okey
well
dokes.
worth listening to. It is indeed.
Yes,
Highly recommended.
look forward to listening to all 21 minutes of it. Fucking hell. You're a very testing man at times, Jake. A very testing man. Oh,
there
dear.
you go.
Yes.
Over to you and one of your little short ones again.
Yes, I have a short one.
So I've heard.
That's as Snow White said. My third one is Silver Rider by Low.
That sounds fun. Ah, right. I knew it sounded familiar.
And Low, I absolutely adore Low. I was quite late to Low. I have to be honest. They just didn't appear on my radar for quite some time. And when they did, I just absolutely fell in love with them. I don't think there's any band who are quite as capable of breaking my heart when I listen to them.
No.
They just, I've often listened to their songs and I can feel tears welling up in my eyes. I just thought they were absolutely amazing. There's a song on their album Come On called Try to Sleep, which is just one of my favourite songs of all time. It's just absolutely beautiful. But unfortunately, that doesn't have a colour in it. So this is Silver Rider from equally brilliant album, The Great Destroyer. And for those of you who don't know, and I would imagine there are a few, they were an American band formed mainly around the duo of Alan Sparhawk, who played guitar and sang, and his wife Mimi Parker, who played drums and sang. And when they sang together, it was just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. They would kind of normally be referred to, I would imagine, as slowcore, which I don't think they necessarily liked, but is probably quite befitting, I think.
One of the things with Low, their albums are very different.
I was going to say, yeah.
Things We Lost in the Fire was quite nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And then Double Negative is all noise and disjointed and electronics.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As they progressed, the music stayed, quite slow and melancholic, but they did start incorporating more noise and into the songs, and it was very noisy at times.
I was staggered when I first heard Double Negative. I thought this can't be the same band.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing LP, absolutely amazing.
It was a good record.
And there was another later one, which I can't remember what it was called.
Drums and Guns.
No, Hey What. Hey What was the one after Double Negative, and that was kind of carried on along the. I mean, when you say no, it didn't get any, like I say, it didn't get any faster. It wasn't like hardcore punk or anything. But there was, and their singing stayed the same. Their singing was so gentle most of the time, but just over this tumult of noise, which was quite amazing. And they were active from 1993 to 2020, and when Mimi developed cancer.
Did she? I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
and died in 20...
Oh, she's actually died.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you better sit down. I thought you knew.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't really followed them. I've got 3 or 4 other albums, but I haven't really followed them.
Died in 2022. It was absolutely heartbreaking. It really was. It was one of those kind of I don't want to say showbiz deaths, but it was when someone who's famous, or to you at least, dies, and most of the time you kind of go, oh, that's sad, But this was genuinely sad. I mean, I think because their music had kind of touched me so much over the years, that it really felt like a kind of quite a personal loss when she died. And I think a lot of Low fans felt the same. There was something so intimate about that music that I think it was easy to kind of claim it for yourself. That's I'm Lower my band kind of thing. I mean, I wouldn't say I wasn't a mega fan. I didn't have a collection of everything. I've got a few LPs. I've got a couple of tapes. I've got some CDs. But there was just something about them. It was so easy to take the music to your heart because it was so gentle and melancholy, and because it just had that, it had that propensity to make you emotional. It really did dredge out tears quite easily, you know.
I never cried to it, but Things We Lost in the Fire was one of the few albums that all my family liked as well.
Yeah,
I think it must be easy on the ear, irrespective of your normal listening.
yeah. There's just something about the tone of it. There's just something so sad about the tone
sad,
of
yeah.
of their music, and I really kind of took some songs, you know, to heart, and really, you know, genuinely loved them.
But they still had tunes and stuff, though, didn't they?
Oh,
Despite
absolutely, yeah.
It's a bit like Bell and Sebastian on Mogadon.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was very much along that slowcore, you know, kind of from like Tortoise and bands like that. You know, Bedhead, that slowcore. You know, but there was more emotion. There's so much emotion in Low's music, and I never got to see him live, which I'm really miffed about.
I saw them in 2002.
Yeah, and good.
Yeah, so I think I was just about sober enough to remember it.
Yeah, but they're a great band, and like I say, just really, and I think the whole story is sad. You know, they were so great, and you know, and they were a couple for years. They'd met at school, and had married. You know, they were childhood sweethearts, married, and it's just one of those things where, you know, death is such a load of shit, isn't it? Because it always gets the people. It always gets the people you like and respect and love, and then there are twats who probably not deserve death, you know. But I'd rather this person to come than them, you know. And they still fucking walk the earth, and yet the singer and drummer from Low died. And that was, you know, and it was heartbreaking.
Good and bad die. I think it's largely indiscriminate.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. But I mean, it sometimes it just feels unfair.
Yeah. Joey Ramone and Fad Gadget and
all
David
of the
Bowie.
Ramones. All of the bloody
Ramones. Yeah.
Fucking dead. You know, and yeah, but yeah, and so I mean, Silver Rider, great song. You know, everything. Not everything. Yeah, for most of what I could listen to any Low album. You know, they've got a Christmas album that is one of the only Christmas albums I ever play. You know, because I'm a miserable twat. And I just love Low. I could just sit and listen to it. You know, when you're in that mood for something kind of quite sad and melancholy, you know, you put it on. But it is quite uplifting as well. You know, there's such beauty to the music, to their voices, to everything, and yeah, I love Low. I just love Low, and I will put Try to Sleep on the playlist as well, because it deserves to be on every playlist you ever compile. It's such a fantastically amazing song, and the whole Come On LP and The Great Destroyer, and any of them, but they're the two that always come to mind when I think
a fully Low playlist.
Yeah, when I think of Low, I always think of those two LPs first of all, and the later stuff, as we've just said, the later stuff is great and has is so beautiful, but has some absolutely scorchingly noisy bits as well. Yeah, you know,
really distorted, and the songs are arranged and constructed in a fundamentally different way to previous albums. It was really a great surprise. Bands change path and change tack, but that was such a big leap from A to B that it was a bit discombobulating.
Yes, I remember the first time I played that and went, what? You know, this is still awesome, but what?
Yeah.
You know, but
when I saw them, they were still in their moderately emotional and restrained guys.
Well, they were very, you know, they would have they would do gigs apparently where, and if people were talking, they just play quieter, just to really really annoy, just to make them look like twats, I imagine. Did a lot of work. Did work with Steve Albini as well.
Didn't everybody?
But it's always good to point out, because that's always a plus for any band. And also with Dave Fridman from Mercury Rev.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, so there you go. That was your number.
That's my number 3, Silver Rider by Low.
Okay, my number 3 would probably quite controversial one, to be honest.
Oh, here we go. It's ABBA, isn't it?
No,
Okay.
but some people might consider it close to that.
Oh, go on.
It's a track which is a fantastic track. Always loved it, and it's Blue Meanings by Toyah. And
yes.
Toyah is a divisive character, I think. This is from the 1980 album, her second album, The Blue Meaning.
Yeah.
And I think she's a bit Marmite, because she rode in like the late 70s with the second wave of punk or new wave. And she had a great first album, Sheep Farming in Barnet, which is really great.
I've got that.
Neon Womb. Yeah, it's great. Neon Womb is a single, is a fantastic one.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I've got the Blue Meaning as well. I've got a pile of Toyah stuff over there. I think I've got it from charity shop, I think. But
it's brilliant. But she came in on that punk thing, and she looked the part. She'd been in Quadrophenia, of course, so she's doing a bit of acting as well. And Jubilee. She got the bright pink and bright blue hair, and she was quite crazy. And the music was a little bit aggressive, but it was largely glossy, kind of new wavy version of punk.
Yes,
the lyrics. A lot of synths she was into, and she says, her bigger influences are Devo and Kraftwerk, not the Jam and the Clash, and you can see that latterly. I think the thing which was really jarring was lyrically, she sang a load of nonsense about ghosts and Egyptology and mummies and things. There was nothing overtly political or even anything that you could relate to. Interminable nonsense, one might call it, but the music was great. The first 2 albums, anyway, and I did quite like the way she looked, I've got to admit. I did.
She was very distinctive. I remember we went to
West Runton.
We went to West Runton, but not to see her, but to see someone else. And West Runton used to have a free cloakroom, didn't it? And I remember hanging my jacket up there. And we went to get back on the coach, and I put my jacket on, and someone had put a T-shirt into my sleeve of my jacket, and it was a Toyah T-shirt.
Oh, right.
And I've no
got the
idea.
wrong jacket.
Yeah, they just rolled it up and put it in the sleeve, and as it came out, I put it in my pocket and took it home and had a wore a Toyah T-shirt every now and again.
Nick Palmer, famously, one of his anecdotes, he got a kick in the face from a bouncer because he managed to get his hand on the inside of Toyah's thigh on the front of the stage.
Interesting. Did she have an itch or something?
I don't think she was welcoming of it. So the bouncer not. But yeah, the first 2 albums are great, and then it all went off the boil. And this song, I love this song. It's a lot more restrained than much of her material. And as I say, a material, as you know, it wasn't aggressive in any real sense, but this was even more restrained. It had a ghostly synth intro. And the time signature changes throughout. It's quite disarming. As a drummer, certainly, it's quite disarming. If you listen to it just as a song, you may not even notice it, but it's a bit weird, but it all works really, really well. And then as 1981 swept in, Toyah did something of a Gary Newman and got all polished and pop orientated and went It's a Mystery and Thunder in the Mountains and all of that lot.
Yes,
and the band split up. Again, a fantastic song, but all that Zion Zuberon, Necronomicon stuff, it's a bit kind of like, whatever.
Yes, that was on the Blue Meaning album, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So that was the big track from Blue Meaning, and Neon Womb was the big track from Sheep Farming in Barnet. Yeah. Although there were several good singles. Danced was a fantastic single in our movie. There's some great records in their early days. But the music split up, the band split up. The music didn't necessarily split up. The music did split up, and it went all pop. She went chasing the money, and the band split up.
It's It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yes, she had a lisp, didn't she?
She's got a lisp, yes. There's nothing wrong with that. Very distinctive.
Mystery. Yeah.
And then in 1986, she married Robert Fripp.
She did indeed, yes.
One. King Crimson's guitar techno aficionado. And then she went on, she appeared in Strictly Come Dancing. Did you know there's so much out there on the web about her? I haven't bothered wading through it all. I've just kind of...
I know she was presenting on TV for a while, wasn't she?
She's done all kinds of stuff, lots of acting, presenting, and all kinds of stuff. And to be honest, I think some of it gets a bit overblown. I did glance at something online, and it said that she is widely acknowledged as the pinnacle of 1980s punk. And I think, hang on a minute, I'm not quite sure.
That might be pushing it a bit.
But the first two albums, fantastic. This song, fantastic. I still listen to it, and part of it's nostalgia. It's true. It takes me back to a time when everybody was kind of quite purist, and it was like, oh, if it's not loads of swearing and politics, then it's not real punk. And I didn't really care about that. I just kind of quite liked it for what it was. But there's not much to take from the lyrics. And
I don't think I think we were all quite welcoming of most. I mean, we all listened to loads of shit anyway, didn't we, us?
I think we did. I mean, we've talked about how we were listening to noise and electronics and even avant-garde and classical stuff, but I don't think that was the norm. There was a lot of purist stuff.
They were.
So you get people say, if that's not real punk, you're not real punk if you're listening to this. Well, fuck off. Who are you to say he's a real punk and he's not?
But it's not to do. It's not the music, is it? I mean, punk's always been an attitude. It's
the attitude,
kind of the way of thinking more than anything.
I think a lot of the mentality though back at the end of the 70s, the early 80s was not so much. And I think to some degree we slipped into that because you end up. You want to be an individual. You want you to express yourself, and you end up basically putting a uniform on every day because you spike your hair up and you got your leather jacket, you want this trousers, and after a little while, like you think, hang on a minute, this is fucking stupid. You're just all conforming to pretend we're not conforming.
We're just sheep being sheep.
Sheep farming in Barnet. Barnet.
Barnet.
So there you go, Blue Meanings from the Blue Meaning.
Yeah, I always liked Toyah. I thought she was great. I mean, and a couple of, I mean, I was just running through Spotify because I remember the Four from Toyah EP, and that was the one with It's a Mystery. That's where It's a Mystery came from.
Angels and Demons.
And that then went on to the Anthem LP.
Yeah,
and
that was really losing. I know, really? Do you like that?
I wouldn't say I like it, but I find it tolerable. Then it was the Changeling was the next one, and that was when I went, I don't think so. No. I think it had gone a bit beyond the pale then. But have you ever seen the video she did with Robert Fripp in the lockdown videos?
No, she still does. Toyah and Robert's Sunday lunch or something, isn't it?
Very funny.
I read a lot about them, and I had a quick look, and I was expecting something more than that. They're just very short little bits where they're messing around doing songs, aren't they? It
was just a bit of fun, I think, and and a lot of people got the absolute arse about it on social media. Yeah. And they were proper. There's some proper nasty comments on it. But again, it's social media. Well, it's social media, isn't it?
No, they just look like they're having fun.
Populated by twats, mostly.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way to watch it. I've got to say.
I think it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's just a bit of fun. So so there you go.
There you go. I quite like that one. I was surprised that you agreed, but
yes, I don't mind a bit of Toyah at all. Okay, so my number 4 is a song called Black Light Poster Child by a band called Squirrelbait.
I've heard the name Squirrelbait.
You'll have heard of Squirrelbait because they were a punk band from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah. And
they went on to become, or some of them went on to become Slint.
Right.
And I... back in the 80s, when when we were massive Big Black fans, I bought a compilation called The Wailing Ultimate because it had Big Black on there doing Il Duce.
Oh, right. I don't know that record.
Also on there, it had a track called Sun God by Squirrelbait.
Okay.
And I was listening to it and I thought, fuck me, this is good. So I went out and bought Squirrelbait record. And the first EP had Sun God on it. That was brilliant. But then they released their second LP. Well, I suppose they were mini LPs, really. There wasn't much to them. There weren't that many tracks on either. But their second LP was called Skag Heaven, was released in 1987. And it is fucking amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It is one of my... I'm going to say one of my favourites. They're all my favourites.
They're all
my favourites. But it is a fantastic record. A fantastic record. And you can see just the sound of it is so influential. You can if you listen to it and put it in context that, you're talking mid 80s, you can see a lot of bands being influenced by it from kind of emo to grunge, really.
Okay.
It's a fabulously influential record. It is a fabulous
I've forgotten the name of the song that you've put up. What was it called?
Black Like Poster Child.
Black Like Poster Child. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, the whole LP. Well, it's the only one on there with a colour in it, but the whole LP is worth listening. I remember when Skag Heaven came out. I had the first EP when Skag Heaven came out. I'm pretty sure that myself, and my friend Terry were a bit skint, and we couldn't afford. There was Skag Heaven was one LP we wanted, and there was another one that I can't remember. And I remember we bought one each, and then put them both on a cassette, and we both had a cassette. And Skag Heaven was on one side, and whatever the other one was on the other. In fact, I messaged Terry the other day. I haven't seen him in about 40 years, and we were kind of talking about meeting up at some point. So I'll have to ask him and see if he remembers what the other LP was. But yeah, Squirrelbait, like I say, active from 82 to 88, I think 82, 87, 88. And yeah, I mean, just absolutely influential as fuck. And the rest of the band went on. I think a couple of them went on to form Slint. Mm-hmm. There were David Grubbs went on to Bitch Magnet, Bastro, Gastra del Sol.
Gastra del Sol.
Yeah,
it was also when the Terminal Cheesecake in Gastra del Sol, I think.
Oh right. There's others went on to. I mean, Slint. That was Brian McMahon and Britt Walford. You had some of them went on to the Four Carnation. Will Oldham from Palace, Bonnie Prince Billy. He was mates with them. He had interactions with them as well. I'm sure there was a documentary
family tree somewhere.
Yeah, probably I know there's definitely a family tree somewhere, and it's fucking huge. And the bands and this is the other thing, the bands that came out of Squirrelbait it's just like, whoa, fuck. I mean, Slint, for God's sake. I mean, Slint basically invented post rock. No Slint, no Mogwai. Or any of those other bands.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were, like I say, they were on Homestead Records, so they were peers with like Naked Raygun, Big Black, all those bands, Dinosaur Jr. The Wailing Ultimate compilation, in fact, is such a brilliant snapshot of those couple of years. I mean, it's got Dinosaur Jr., Repulsion. In fact, before they were even Junior, they were still Dinosaur at the time, I think.
Did they regress like Benjamin Button?
Yes, that, and there was also a disco band called Dinosaur. They had to change the name. I originally thought that was why the Fix became the Fixix, because there was another band called The Fix, but no, it wasn't.
Right.
That was drug related.
Okay.
Yeah, not much more that I can say really. I did a few years ago bought myself. I finally found on eBay a Skag Heaven T-shirt I wore for ages, and then got fat and couldn't fit into it anymore. And that's I really need to. I think Squirrelbait T-shirt should be the law. It's got a great cover as well. Kind of this. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like an airplane submarine coloured thing.
Okay.
You know, yeah. I can't.
Hands
even
going
describe
wild
it.
there. Hands
Yes.
going wild.
I'm trying to kind of. It looks like this, and there's a bit of this in it, but yeah.
God, with that and your tongue flashing around today, I'm gonna have nightmares.
There's none of that guitar wankery on there. It is proper. It's proper. You know, kind of
Good, honest rock.
kind of a melodic hardcore punk. There's so many influences in there, and there's, like I say, you can see how they influence so many other bands.
Right.
Just from and their whole recorded output is probably only just gets into double figures.
Right.
Amazing, absolutely amazing band, and thoroughly recommended.
Excellent. I'm sure we will all get a chance to hear that without having
Yes,
to dig them
indeed.
out, because it'll be on the playlist.
Yep.
Cool. My number 4, Number 4, Red Nettle.
Red Nettle, eh?
Yeah, by Virgin Prunes.
Oh, okay.
Which
I've never really listened to Virgin Prunes, to be honest. I don't really know why. They're one of those bands I've always kind of, I don't know, I've just never got around to listening to, which is ridiculous given how long they've been going now.
Well, yeah, well, not anymore, obviously, but how long ago they were
Yeah, well,
playing.
yeah.
And I think there are lots of reasons why people would give them a miss, because they're quite confrontational, not in the way punk is confrontational with lots of shouting and swearing and polemics, but they're confrontational in this is guys screaming and screeching, wearing dresses and doing stage performances involving shit and mud and pigs' heads, and very unconventional songs. I say unconventional songs, they've got such a wide range of song styles. There's tracks like this one, which I'll talk about in a moment, and tracks which are utterly different. They have no restriction of we need to fit into a genre or anything. But they're a great band, or they were a great band. They're from Dublin, 1977 they were formed. And the name is an invention of theirs, which was used to describe people who they knew who were freaks, people who were mental, people who were deformed, who they befriended. They would call them the Virgin Prunes. In a complimentary way, they thought they were the beautiful people. They were properly cool. They were not pretentious and so on. But it was it's an odd name, not the kind of name you'd paint on a leather jacket necessarily.
No.
The back line, you got somebody called Strongman on bass, Mary on drums, guitar was Dick, and then you got 3 vocalists. I think some of the time it was 2. Dave Idd was the 3rd vocalist, but the 2 main vocalists were Googie and Gavin Friday. The vocals were quite often wild, screaming, screeching. It's like bedlam kind of mad people, a madhouse of voices. But it was fascinating, thoroughly intriguing, and they would dress like they'd just raided Miss Havisham's wardrobe. These old decayed dresses. I saw them in 1983, and they're just wild and flailing limbs everywhere. Very, very theatrical, but not theatrical in the way that I spoke about The Residents last week, which was very sinister, very cool, very restrained, very eerie. This was just wild madhouse stuff with lots of props, as I say, and some of the props, they're pretty confrontational. The whole thing very disturbing, fascinating, neo-gothic, grand guignol kind of theatre. Absolutely mad. They supported the Clash in 1978, which I can only imagine what the Clash fans thought of it. But they got away with it with their lives, and they had a big connection with U2. The guitarist, Dick Evans, is Edge's older brother. Hey,
Yes,
who'd have thought we'd mentioned Edge twice?
Yeah.
And the boy that's on U2's cover of their album Boy is actually Googie's kid from Virgin Prunes. And they were all big friends right back from childhood. Googie, Gavin Friday, Bono, all great friends.
Because didn't they give Bono and The Edge their names, didn't they?
Did exactly. Yeah. Googie did, yeah. They split up, and they went their separate ways. Googie I'm not sure whether Googie got thrown out or whether he walked away, but they went their separate ways. And Gavin Friday went on to do some a whole range of things himself. He worked with The Fall. He actually worked with U2, with Jar Wobble, Naomi Campbell, and he turns up singing on a fantastic track called Tenderness of Wolves on Coil's Scatology album, which is just one of those
Who
things.
knew Coil would get a mention? Who knew?
But this track, Red Nettle, it just goes to show you what fantastic music you can make with one instrument, no accoutrements, no vocals, nothing, because it's this simple synth loop that's heavily panned across the speakers. So you hear this come out of one speaker, out of another speaker, and that's it. It just rolls and rolls around, but it draws you in. It's so deep and so effective. It's a bit like Cabaret Voltaire's theme from Double Vision, which I've mentioned before, which again is just a simple synth loop. It's fantastic. It's minimal and it's beautiful and it's simple. Very cyclical. It just surges and drops and it turns like some massive organic machine. It's really fantastic. But not all of their stuff
I'm
is
sure it could have been improved with a bit of a guitar solo, possibly along the lines of...
Go on.
Something like that. I think that
Not
was...
sure how that would have fitted, really. Not sure how that would have worked. But the Virgin Prunes, they did all kinds of things. So they got things like this, these peculiar little electronic experiments. And then they had their big rock anthemic songs like Pagan Love Song, which was their big throbbing post-rock hit. Tracks like Ulakanaka, which sounds like some quasi-ceremonial instrumental from Eastern Europe. And then you got Mad Bird in the Wood, which is this screeching track of birds trapped in a room being recorded with microphones that are swinging from rafters and swirling around and feeding back. So very experimental, but very conventional structurally at times as well. So they split in 1986, and if you really wanted to get a taste of what they were about, they released a video, Sons Find Devils, which has got lots of promo footage, it's got live footage. I think it's got some interviewy bits on there as well, if I remember. I haven't watched it for a long, long time. But fascinating band, not everybody's taste certainly, but what is. Red Nettle, again, I don't know if it's on Spotify, but I hope it is, because it's not long. I think it's only about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes long.
No way.
It's very simple, but
you feeling okay?
It's
Do you need to sit down?
I know, I do. Sometimes short works. It's remarkable how this little motif gets under your skin and everything just stops and you're drawn into it. It's great. So there you go.
Excellent. Yes. Well, I will listen to. I'll have a listen to it actually, and
if it's on there.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I know there's Virgin Prune songs on the streaming platform. So yeah. Excellent. Okay.
I think they've re-released. There's something that's coming out on Record Store Day. Heresy, they're releasing a limited edition.
Are you planning on going to Record Store Day at all? Or?
I plan to. Yes. There's a few things that I'd quite like to get my hands on. There's Conflict, Human League, Exmal Deutschland, Ramones.
Yeah, Exmal Deutschland is my
Sessions.
That's definitely got to get that. There's a couple of reggae ones I want to get, and I also really want to get Ethel Cain.
Oh yeah, I saw that was on there as well.
Yeah,
Ramones live.
No, I've got that. I'm pretty sure I've got that one somewhere.
It's not It's Alive. It's a different one, isn't it?
No, I've got a load of. There's lots of Ramones bootlegs out there.
Bootleg. Right.
And they're not bootlegs. They're kind of semi-official. Yeah. It's when they license radio shows and they can then release them on vinyl. And I'm pretty sure this one is from the old Waldorf in San Francisco in 78 or something.
I got Dead Kennedys at the old Waldorf from '79.
Yeah, it's somewhere like that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely got it. So
it'll all be far too expensive, anyways.
yes, that's the problem, isn't it? Well, do you know? Weirdly, there's a lot of records out. I mean, I've moaned like fuck for the last few years about the price of things.
Yeah,
and there are a few totally overpriced. For some reason, the Sisters of Mercy always cost double what you think it should.
Okay.
But a lot of stuff is quite reasonably priced. The Exmal Deutschland Peel sessions is only just over 30 quid, I think.
Oh, it's double as well, isn't it? Double album.
Yeah. Which is really quite refreshing, actually. I do get that. I do get the arse with the way you get, the price gouging that goes on. I mean, again, like I said, there's some of them are ridiculously overpriced. Strangely enough, Rough Trade have been doing some release some records because it's their 50th anniversary. Yeah. So they've got this series of albums coming out, and it's like one per year for every year that they've been going.
There's some good ones in there as well. I've had a look through.
There are, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's kind of really overpriced.
Okay, I didn't look at the prices.
Well, for example, they've released My Bloody Valentine Isn't Anything is on a single disc, clear vinyl, and it's 45 quid. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, they've released Sister by Sonic Youth on this real nice clear splattery vinyl, $27.99.
That's a big difference, isn't it? It makes you wonder how that's coming about.
And then you've got Selected Ambient Works, double picture disc, $37.99. So it's obviously depends on which label it's released on. Now, I know Warp have always been really good value for money. They put out that triple Selected Ambient Works 2. They did a triple LP of that and that was less than 50 quid for a 3 LP set.
Yeah.
And this is the same. This is the same basic premise as Record Store Day. You've got labels that are putting stuff out for relatively good prices, and then others that will just gouge the fuck out of it, and for no reason, because these are all packaged the same as well.
Yeah.
You've got a nice record. You've got in a specific vinyl colour. You've got the cover. You've got an insert, a Rough Trade insert that tells you all about that particular LP. But they just vary so much, and again dependent on the label. So that it's like the major labels are twats, because you've got My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, single LP, 38 quid.
Wow.
Which is $37.99, which is exactly the same as the Warp double double Aphex Twin. Fucking bugs the tits off me.
There'll
really
be reasons
does.
for it, no doubt. But I shall go to Rough Trade for Record Store Day because that's the nearest shop that's doing it anyway.
You got one in Nottingham, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to drive over to Bury St Edmunds. There's a record shop there called Vinyl Hunter.
Okay.
And I went there because Lost in Vinyl in Cambridge aren't doing it.
And
Relevant do it, but I don't like Mill Road because there's nowhere to fucking park.
Right. Is Power Records still open?
No, that Christ, they shut down 20 years ago. Yeah, Parent Records was brilliant.
It was good, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, we went in the last day they were open. I remember going in there. There used to be a guy called Bill worked in there. I was just talking about him. Just standing there ages talking.
Yeah.
And Karen would get the arse in the end and go out and have a smoke while I was standing. That's how long ago it was. We both smoked.
Wow.
We both smoked back then.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think Vinyl Hunter in Bury St Edmunds I'll be off to.
Yeah, right. They're just so few. I mean,
year.
just not having the opportunity to browse through physical records is a great loss in life, I think.
Yeah, you can't beat a good old dig through a crate dig.
No.
As they call it.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
anyway, We've
Yes.
gone off on a tangent there. So
As usual.
Yeah, as usual. You're number 5, I think we're on.
My number five has two colours in it.
Don't do
Yes.
that to me. Stick to fucking Toozer.
And it's Grey Cell Green by Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Oh gosh, God, I haven't heard that name for a long time.
Yeah, I always had a soft spot for Ned's. They came out of the Stourbridge movement, along with Pop Will Eat Itself and the Wonder Stuff. I think the Wonder Stuff were the first band to come out from there. That fantastic band as well. Could have gone with Red Berry Joytown with the Wonder Stuff. And if I'd have picked Pop Will Eat Itself, I could have gone for the Black Country Chainstorm Massacre as well. So I didn't. I've plumped for of the Stourbridge bands. If you go to Stourbridge, which I think is near Birmingham.
I've never been to Stourbridge, I don't think.
No, I haven't. But if you go there, there's a guy who's done murals for all three bands.
Really?
So of their logos, yeah. So there's buildings with a great big Pop Will Eat Itself logo, the great big Ned's Atomic Dustbin round logo, and the Wonder Stuff's logo as well.
Okay. In Nottingham, there's a building that somebody's done an absolutely superb mural of Sleaford Mods on the side of it.
Oh, excellent!
It's really good. Yeah. I think it's a gig hall.
Sleaford Mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Green's a big Sleaford Mods fan as well.
Is he?
He's mega fan. Yeah, so Ned's Atomic Dustbin from Stourbridge in the West Midlands, formed around 1987, and Grey Cell Green is from their first LP, Godfather. Although I think it was previously released as a single on there was a compilation called Bite that I'm pretty sure that had Grey Cell Green on it as well. But it's a brilliant song. And they were a great band. And I think they kind of I always felt they got a bit overlooked as being part of the Stourbridge scene. I think Wonder Stuff and Pop Will Eat Itself kind of took all of the glory, and the Ned's Atomic Dustbin always seemed to be a bit of a kind of the runners up. Although I would imagine at one point they were more successful than either or the other two bands. Great live band. I saw them a couple of times. I saw them support. In fact, I think I saw them support the Wonder Stuff both times. And I remember they played in Cambridge at the Junction, and I couldn't go because I was working that night. I was the night manager at the time in the hotel, and they stayed and they came back, and I used to have because it's the middle of the night and there was hardly anyone about, I used to play music in the back of the reception area, and I had my trusty Mega City 4 album playing at full pelt, and Matt, the bassist, came up and said, "Who's that Mega City 4?" And we got chatting. We stood chatting for about 3 hours, and he gave me his mobile number. Said, "Oh, if next time we're in Cambridge, give us a bell. I'll put you on the guest list."
Oh wow!
And they never came back to Cambridge, unfortunately. So
he knew that. He knew he wasn't coming back.
Probably, yeah, probably. He thought, I'll pretend I like him, but he's actually a twat. But yeah, they were great bands. And the novelty of Ned's at that time was they had two bass players. Matt was one, and I think Dan was the other. There was Matt and Dan. I think John was the lead singer. Rat was the guitarist. Of course, you had to have a fucking band member called
Every group's got to
Rat.
have a rat in it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I have a drummer called Alex. I can't remember. But they were pretty successful bands. I think they're still going now.
Oh, are they?
I think they still tour. In fact, I think all three of them, Wonder Stuff, are still touring. Mm-hmm. Pop Will Eat Itself I went to see last October or November at the Corn Exchange. Corn Exchange at Cambridge Junction. They were brilliant. They were really good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Ned's are still touring every now and again. Godfather was a brilliant LP. Absolutely brilliant LP. I remember having. Then this was the time of the T-shirts as well.
Time of the T-shirts.
Yeah, so you'd go to, excuse me, you go to a band like the Wonder Stuff or Popular Eat Yourself, and there's Atomic Dustbin, and there would be so many fucking T-shirts. There would be long sleeve T-shirts. You'd have a T-shirt for every single that was released. You'd have a T-shirt for every tour. You'd have a T-shirt for every. And T-shirts were massive at that time. And some of these old ones go for fucking hundreds of quids nowadays.
I missed that completely. I didn't know there was a T-shirt epoch.
It was. Manic Street Preachers. Their old T-shirts sometimes hit 400-500 now.
I know you said that there were some T-shirts that sell for great sums of money, but I didn't realise that there was a period where T-shirts were a big thing.
They were, yeah. I think. I'm thinking of Mega City 4. That they always had, the T-shirts for different gigs. Right. They'd do a limited run for each gig, or if they were doing a gig in a specific place, a benefit, there'd be a T-shirt for that with a different, with a logo, but a different phrase on there, a different bit of lyric. Therapy have done hundreds of fucking T-shirts as well, and I've owned, I've probably over the course of the years, I've owned 20 or 30 Therapy T-shirts.
Probably worn them all at the same time.
Yes, I did. So I bumped myself up. It's a lot quicker than bodybuilding. You're looking buff. Yes, I am. Thanks very much. You've been working out? No, I've just bought every fucking Therapy T-shirt that's ever been released, and I'm wearing them all at the same time. Brilliant.
It beats carrying luggage on the aircraft.
It does. Yeah. It does save a bit. But yeah, and I had a couple of Ned's Atomic Dustbin T-shirts. I think that's where people of our generation, maybe not you so much, but I love T-shirts. I still buy T-shirts. Most gigs I go to, I'll buy a T-shirt. I just feel obliged, and I think a lot of it these days is the fact that I know that those bands are, that's probably the biggest source of income.
I believe it
is merch.
I believe it is, yeah.
So I think it's only fair that, that if they're not getting much from the fucking tickets and anything else, it's not going to hurt me to buy a T-shirt. I've got a T-shirt. They've just made 25, 30 quid, whatever. So why not?
I didn't like, I've got to admit, none of that group of groups did anything for me. I didn't really listen to any of them.
It doesn't surprise me. Oh well, I don't know. I think if you dug a bit deeper,
yeah.
Popular Eat Yourself virtually invented rap metal.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I had a mate at the time who was big into Popular Eat Yourself, and he used to play me a lot and so on. It didn't do anything for me.
I really liked them. I really liked This Is the Day, This Is the Hour, This Is This. It is a fucking banger.
Is that the actual name, or did you just forget the last bit?
That is. I think it is. This is this, or this is that. That's a banging LP. That was so far ahead of its time with samples and the kind of the rapping over the rock and the metal. Although it's not as bad as that sounds. They weren't trying to be Eminem. They were just shouting, their lyrics in a typically kind of a UK rap metal way. And it just worked.
I think I might have seen them. They played at the arena, didn't they?
I don't remember seeing the arena, but they may well have done. I saw them in the early 90s at the Cambridge Corn Exchange, and then saw them again, like I say, last year, and they were still really good. The Wonder Stuff I saw countless times. Right. I was a massive Wonder Stuff fan. The first LP is an absolute joy. It's a pop punk just masterpiece. Then they got a bit twiddly with the diddly diddly dido fucking violins, and it got a bit. It was enjoyable to a degree, but some of it hasn't aged well. But then they made in their first incarnation made a final record called Construction for the Modern Idiot. That's a fucking banger,
right?
Absolute banger. They really kind of pulled it all out. That was why I got my my idiot tattoo. That was
right.
That was a Wonder Stuff construction for the modern idiot.
I thought that had been mandatory by a judge that had ordered that you had that tattooed.
No, that's the one on my back that says twat. That's the one that was that's the one that was court ordered.
That's the one. Yeah.
But yeah, Wonder Stuff were a great band. Again, they're still touring now. And then like I say, Ned's Atomic Dustbin, a couple of good albums. I mean, Godfather is a absolute banger. The second one that I can't actually remember what it's called, not quite so good. But they were a great band. They were a really, really good band. Are You Normal was the second one, and Brain Blood Volume in '95, and I think that was all they released. And then I think most of the stuff they've released since then has been compilations. Yeah. And the first Grey Cell Green was one of the first singles, along with Kill Your Television, which is a cracking song as well.
Okay.
But yeah, thoroughly recommend Ned's Atomic Dustbin, and all of those Stourbridge bands. You know, they've all got bad albums, but they've all got some absolute bangers as well. So there you go.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you.
Okay, my final pick of this episode then is a fantastic opening track to a fantastic album. And the track is The Black Hit of Space, and the album is Travelogue, which was the Human League's second album, released in 1980. And it is one of my favourite intros to a song as well. It has this deep, hard drum machine pattern and tingles of electronic debris come in and go out. A bass synth stabs occasionally. There's lots and lots of space, and the reverb and the processing gives it that sense of space. And then out of the blue, without any warning, this fucking massive wave of electronic noise just starts. There's no fade in, it just starts, and it sweeps every inch of the space away. And then just as suddenly, it stops. And thinking about electronic noise, it's not the dense, distorted kind of noise that you would expect from a power electronics outfit. It's not Merzbow, it's not White House, New Blockaders or something like that. It's almost a musical noise, and I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but you'd probably have to hear it to understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, it stops, and then Phil Oakey's voice comes in, and it's a real counterpoint because Oakey's voice is sonically very beautiful. It's a real counter to this electronic stuff that's going on. They use a very similar approach to the intro on Dreams of Leaving, a track on the same album, and it works just as well. And clearly the band thought so as well, because they did it twice on one album.
Sounds it.
Oakey's voice, I've always admired a great deal. He only barely missed out on being on my list of great male vocalists in a previous episode that we did. He's got a voice that's so emotional. It's a very melodic voice. It's a real pop voice. Yeah. It's got very rich tonality, and there can't be many people on the planet who are not familiar with it in some way, shape or form, because clearly after the first two albums, Reproduction, which is an equally superb album, and Travelogue, the Human League split up, and out of the ashes came Heaven 17, and an entirely new version of the Human League. Phil Oakey was still there, but his erstwhile bandmates Ian Craig, Marsh, Martin Ware, they'd gone off with Glenn Gregory to form Heaven 17, and we've talked about that before, so I won't labour about Heaven 17 at all. The new version of the Human League became very much more pop-oriented, and they stormed the charts with massive hits like Don't You Want Me.
Don't you want
God.
me? You know I can't believe it when I hear that you won't see me. Don't you want me?
And also, they were ubiquitous on the radio stations. The massive album Dare as well was a multi-award winning album, I think. But that was very different to what they'd been producing in the early days. And to me, whilst all of it all of it was good. All of it was fantastic. I much preferred their earlier phase with Travelogue reproduction and great singles like Empire State Human and Being Boiled, and their stark rendition of Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll. So this song then, The Black Hid of Space, once Phil starts singing, it's a story. And it's a story kind of you'd expect as some kind of 50s B-movie film. It tells of a record, a malevolent record that's sucking in all the other records in retail outlets like a black hole. And it's invading the charts by a process of elimination. It leaves nothing else to buy. It shoots to number one. But then it goes into minus figures. And there's a stark section in the song where much of the instrumentation falls away and there's this sparse, jagged noisescape. And Oki assumes a kind of narrative, almost a documentary type narrative tone as he describes attempting to play the record on an imaginary turntable with a tone arm that's less than 1 micron long but which weighs more than Saturn. He ends up trying to run away, but the record's always in front of him. And eventually he suggests getting James Burke on the case. And if you remember, James Burke, back in the late 70s, was a fixture on our TVs.
Yes.
He was the popular, accessible boffin.
Tomorrow's World.
Who'd been, Tomorrow's World, and working on the SETI programme. But he often turned up as a commentator on science-related topics.
Yeah.
Interestingly, or not as a case may be, there was a note on the cover of the Travelogue album that proudly declared that no instruments other than synthesizers and electronics were deployed in making the album, which was quite the opposite to many bands who were flirting with synthesizers and who were being criticized for trying to sneak them in.
Absolutely, yes.
By having kind of patches of strings or drums,
indeed,
emulating real instruments and putting real musicians out of work. And those kind of bands were saying, well, don't worry, we're only using it on the edge. We're not really making a big thing of the synthesis. We've still got real instruments. And here was the Human League saying, sod the real instruments. We are entirely electronic. So it's a fantastic track, a fantastic record from a fantastic band.
Yeah, I do. I am a big Human League fan, I've got to admit, from start to possibly not finish, but definitely those first two, and then Dare. Dare is an absolute classic. Pretty sure I've got a Dare picture disc somewhere. Probably sounds fucking awful. Brilliant. So that's us done on Colours.
We've got what we were talking about then, weren't we? So we just got our
Colours,
listening of the week.
Yes. Well, in that case, what have you been listening to this week, Jake?
An album called Corey Arcane by Kang Ding Ray, electronica from 2015. Back to 19.
I think I've got that.
Sorry?
I think I've got that.
You might have. You got most of the things, so it wouldn't surprise me. I should think you've got the next one as well. 1972, Transformer, Lou Reed.
I haven't got that. No.
It's a great record.
It is a very good record, yes.
Probably haven't got the next one from 2020. Fantastic album called Source and Deliver by jazz rock monster band Lightning Orchestra. Fantastic.
Nope. I haven't got that.
I don't think you got the next one either. It's by a Spanish psychedelic rock ethnic band. It's called Axexan Espritan, which means something like lurking spying, and it's by a band called Mura. They're really good.
Excellent. I haven't got it.
And the last one from this year, just recently released, Descent by Nyx, NYX.
All right. Yes.
Which isn't
yes,
really
it's
not really an album. It's just one long track.
Oh, I see.
it's just one long
I'll
track.
let you off.
And weirdly, it's just a recording of what's happening in the auditorium before a gig, but it's very, very good, very interesting. So there you go.
Excellent.
So okay. Dave, what are you listening to?
Well, this week I have mostly been listening to Birding, the new album from Deary, which is nice and shoegazy.
Oh, right.
And I did a little Instagram thing on. I've been listening to Brilliance of a Falling Moon by Dalek, who I really like. They've been going for quite some time.
They've been going a long time, yes.
I spent all day yesterday listening to Boards of Canada.
Clearly, yes.
Nothing particular, just everything. And I fucking thoroughly enjoyed that. I've also been listening to Elegies to Lessons Learned by I Like Trains from 2000 and something. That's probably 15. Yeah, they're kind of I don't know.
Train spotters.
They all their albums, all the songs are about his history. They're history based.
Okay.
They've got one called Spencer Percival, which is obviously about Spencer Percival, but that's to give you an idea. And finally, I've been listening to Kid Dynamite, their first LP, which is called Kid Dynamite, hardcore bands.
It's funny because I was thinking that a topic for us might be good eponymous albums, and there you have one.
Eponymous albums, yes, except I've just said it now, so everyone ignore that I said that, and then if we do eponymous albums, I'll have it again because it is a cracker. But yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad shout actually. I could. Shall we do that next?
Let's do that next then. Yeah.
Okie dokes. Eponymous albums.
Eponymous albums.
As usual, I need to say hello to the guys at the Greatest Playlist Ever, the second best podcast in the world.
Do they ever comment on your constant?
No, they don't. They don't. Bless them. I can't really say, yeah, they're much better than us. They probably are quite more professional than us. I don't think they burst into fits of giggles and can't talk for
I think
ages.
we have to try hard to be less professional than this, I think.
Yes. Robin hasn't, I can't remember whether she mentioned the Girl Wonder again or not.
Oh, okay.
But DJ Substance was not around on this, but Brooklyn Pete's there. And they wrote, weirdly, they played the Sundays today. And because you get to vote for your track, I voted for the Sundays, which reminded me that I did an Instagram reel for the Sundays and for their first album, Reading, Writing and Arithmetic. And I got told off because apparently it's Reading, Writing and Arithmetic because they came from Reading. I never fucking knew that.
They must have known that was going to get misread.
Quite possibly misreading. Yeah, so I never knew that, and a lot of people went, well, it's actually Reading writing. It's like, oh fucking hell, yes. So there you go. So next week we will do eponymous LPs. I'm not going to do that. I said fair listeners last time. I didn't kick myself because I said it twat. So
I could have edited it out, but it was so funny.
Goodbye, everybody, and we will see you soon.
Goodbye.